wise counselor asked was, what is the main problem? So should we ask that of this story? Okay, let's do that. What is the main problem in this story?
Money to pay the creditors. She needs money to pay the creditors.
The widow needs money to pay her creditors, yes. The sons could be taken as slaves.
Yeah.
And so it's a story of, for the widow, what's she feeling?
Sarah.
What?
Afraid.
Afraid. She's feeling fear. Yes, okay. Now, what did the wise counselor, what's the next question the wise counselor asked?
Tell me what happened before.
So should we ask that question in the story? So let's do that. What happened before the story began? It might help us understand the story. And I've basically done that already. I gave you the backstory and the introduction. And when we're preparing the story, we want to make sure we get that part in. I shared it as I introduced it, I told you the story. But had I not told you, and we just were learning it afresh, then we'd have to at this point say, well, what happened before? And if you're leading the group like I am, I would tell you the introduction to the story. To give you the backstory, what happened before the story began, that might help us understand it, like the famine in the land, like Elisha and his school of prophets, and what they were called, and what a prophet is. But we've gotten that. So now we can move on. What's the next thing the wise counselor?
Tell me the story.
Tell me the story. Okay. So how should we do that with this story?
We tell the whole story?
We tell the whole story? Larry and I can kind of co-teach here, co-lead here a bit. Do we tell the whole story again? Or
Slowly.
just a portion of the story? So let's start with the first part of the story. And so I'll retell that first part.
Yeah, let me try this. What about somebody else?
Can somebody else tell the first part of the story? Tell just the first part of the story.
Mark.
Good place to stop. Go ahead, Mark.
One day, a widow came to the prophet Elisha, and he said, "Prophet, my husband is dead, and I don't have anything. My creditors are coming to take my sons for slaves. Please help me."
Okay, thank you, Mark. That was good. From that part of the story now, what are the wise counselor questions we should ask of that part of the story?
What choice?
Let's ask this question. Let's start with the first character in the story is who? The widow. So let's ask the question. What did the widow say or do that might help us understand her? What does she say? What do we learn from what she said? What do we learn about her from what she said first? She said,
My husband is dead.
You know how he feared the Lord. What might we learn about her from that? What she said? What kind of person is she?
She didn't cry out. She didn't just whisper that to the guy. She cried out.
My husband, your servant, is dead, and you know how he feared the Lord. What kind of person is she? Huh? She fears the Lord. She fears the Lord. What we want to do on this now is we're going to use every tool that the wise counselor used, which are his questions, and use every tool for every character. If we had time, we would do that. We're going to start that way. So we start with, what did she say? And what do we learn from what she said? That's the first tool. We learn that maybe she fears the Lord. Anything else we learn from what she said?
She establishes the relationship between her husband and Elisha.
She reminded the relationship between Yeah, very interesting. The relationship between her husband and Elisha. And what is she saying about that? What we learned by what she said, by that reminder that she made? What might have been her reasons for doing that?
You're responsible for our lives now.
Yeah, interesting observation. You know, my husband served you,
Yes.
and now he's dead. So,
What will you do?
yeah, okay, good. So we learned about her from what she said, is she sees that Elisha has some obligation toward her.
Yeah.
Because her husband feared the Lord. It was in his school. He was one of the sons of the prophets in Elisha's school. So she's reminding him of that. Excellent observation. Now, anything else we can learn from what she said? My husband, your servant, is dead. You know how you fear the Lord. But now, creditors are coming, are threatening to take sons and make them.
Slaves. She's desperate.
She's desperate. We'll learn that about her.
Yeah.
From what she said there. Anything else we can learn? She's a woman of faith. She's reminding Elisha of his obligation. She's afraid. What else do we learn from what she said?
There's another trust. She trusts Elisha to be able to do something.
Trusting Elisha to be able to do something.
Yeah.
Do something about this, yes.
She's looking for solutions. She's looking for
Looking for a solution. And she's looking to who for a solution?
And she is brave enough to mention what is wrong. She is brave enough to mention.
She's brave enough, yes, that's a good observation. She's brave enough to go to this man of God who's a famous prophet and bold enough to go to him and to say what she did. That says something about her, about the kind of person she is. Yeah. Anything else? With the wise counselor asked, what did you say? What did you do? Now, in this case, is the saying and doing pretty similar? Sometimes the saying and doing is the same. She did by saying.
Not a lot of doing, it's mainly conversation.
Yeah. So she says by doing and she does by saying. What she did was she said some things. She goes to him and says what she said. Is there anything else we can learn about her that we haven't? We want to take the time, pick up every tool, and make sure we see if there's something we can learn before we move on. Is there anything else?
My translation says his creditors.
His creditors. Who would the his be?
Husband.
Husband. Do we learn anything about the husband maybe from this story so far?
Poor fellow. He died broke.
He died broke. Right? That's a good observation.
Not just a book of insurance.
And it's up to 5, 6.
That's insurance. He died broke without insurance.
There's no money being a prophet.
Not financially literate.
What was that, Grace?
Not financially literate.
He wasn't financially
Literate. Not financially literate.
Yeah.
There was a famine in the land.
They don't.
There was a family
Or it's possible that they're not.
Can we know from the story, was the husband irresponsible?
No, it's possible that they're not well off, but they just had to make ends meet because of the famine in the land. But in the process of making ends meet, he died. So.
Well, so what happens when someone gets sick? Is that a drain?
Yeah, right. That will drain. Yeah, that will drain.
Yeah. And what else do we know from the story about the husband? Was he what kind of person was he?
Prophet.
There's money being a prophet.
He was in Elisha's school. She said he feared the Lord. So he was a good man. So probably he wasn't irresponsible. He was a good man, but they just lived barely. They were trusting God day by day. Okay. Okay. Well, let's move on then.
Okay, so how about the slave, the creditors?
Now the creditors come into this.
Are they doing something?
The creditors. Do the creditors say or do anything? Do they say anything in the story?
No.
Well,
Pass it backward.
indirectly they say that.
It's
Threatening.
yeah, threatening them.
So the creditors are threatening. That's what they're doing. Anything we can learn further from these creditors making these threats?
Borrower is a slave to the lender.
Borrower is
Borrower
servant.
slave
So that's
to
a
the
proverb.
lender.
That's a proverb. The borrower is servant to the lender. That's important.
I think we can learn from this story that the creditors were in their rights. Because that's the first
Yes.
thing that Elisha tells after she gets all the oil, the pay of your debt.
Yes.
So, I mean, they were not
On the wrong. Yeah, they were not loan sharks.
I mean, they were in their right to do
They
that.
weren't thieves. In fact, a little time out here, one thing I could have put into the introduction was that there is a law in the Torah, of
Yes.
Moses, in the law of Moses, that the Hebrews could, if the Hebrews couldn't pay their debts to their countrymen, they could become slaves for a time to pay off their debt. Now, they weren't slaves that were mistreated, but they were slaves in the sense that they had to work for the people who they owed money to until they could pay it. There wasn't a law of Moses about that, so the creditors were in their rights
Lawful.
to do this.
Right.
I could have put that in the introduction. Okay, that's important to learn about the creditors.
Shelf, sort of thing.
Kind of put that on a shelf and put it in the introduction. I could have put it in the introduction. If you tell this story someday, put that in your introduction to the story. That
Right.
the creditors were
Yeah.
acting according to the law of Moses and what they were doing.
Jim,
Question. Can it be at this time, at this processing time, can the members of the group, for example, if you're in a Bible study, can they ask questions to the center of the story?
Yeah, but remember, I'm not presenting the story now. We're preparing the story. We're in the kitchen. So we're all discussing, we're all digging together using these wise counselor tools. We're digging out the treasures by looking at every character in the story. The widow, her dead husband, now the creditors. We're asking, what did they say or do? Say or do? Choices they made.
in the first part,
Just this first part. So we can all ask questions. We can all dig and ask questions and use those tools. Is there anything else that we learned about the creditors by what they do?
so her question though, I think is, can you
Like
jump
choices.
ahead into the middle of the story? And she went to the end of the story and picked up something.
Really
So,
went to the end,
you know, she picked up something, but ideally, you want to treat it like the wise counselor said. Tell me in part what happened in that first part. That way you know you're going to treat the story in its wholeness. What I'm seeing is people want to jump to the climax when the oil quits and then the miracle happens. We're trying to help you go slowly so you pick up all the treasures.
That's the path story, remember? Go slowly down the path and observe what you see as you go. Don't jump to the end. Don't run to the end. Ideally, sometimes what you said helped me, because I should have put that in the introduction about the law of Moses. That helped me. But ideally, we try to go through the whole story and not jump to the end. Because we'll get to the end if we have time. So we're going slowly. Is there anything more as we go slowly that we need to find out about the creditors, about the widow, about her dead husband, about the creditors at this point? Any questions?
Can we also say when they are servants of prophets, they are serving Elisha, the husband. Can we say then that because they were serving Elisha, they got poor?
It's a good
Can we
question.
say
Good question. It's a good question. Did you hear what she said?
Yeah.
Because they were serving Elisha's school. Were they poor because of that? Wasn't he paying them enough for
They were pastors, that's why.
poor missionaries like
We've got lots of them.
That's a good question. When I ask all these questions, and see that from the story itself, we don't want to go outside the story or speculate if there's nothing, if the story doesn't tell us, we don't want to speculate or add things to the story that aren't there. But from what's in the story, we want to learn as much as we can about the characters by asking these questions of all of them in the story. There's other characters we haven't asked about yet. What about the two sons? Are they saying anything at this point? No. Are they doing anything at this point?
Probably.
Yeah. What are they doing at this point, the sons, the two sons?
Crying.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, they're old enough to go work as slaves.
No, hey.
The sons are old enough to go work as slaves.
No, they'll ask them, how old do you think they might be?
How old do you think they might be? Instead of me telling you, I'm asking you. Can we learn from the story how old they
Or
might
the group.
be? Can we learn from the story how old they might be? How old slaves might be? If they were little children, they wouldn't be. Not usually. Little children would be slaves.
What is the law say?
Young children would, little children wouldn't be slaves. Yeah.
That's already
But-
old, they're already married at that age, right?
Maybe
Yeah,
around
so
11, 11, 12.
If the mother would ask them to find someone beyond theirs, then they may be around
Teens, early teens. But I think that's right. If they're 15, 16, 17 years old,
They would have been married.
they would be able to go out and make money. There's too little.
Maybe
too
about
little.
11.
So we,
11 or 12.
About 11 years old.
11,
If
10,
they were-
11, 12.
If they were old enough, they could go out and work for money.
10, 11, 12.
Okay, so see, we've looked at the sons now. Looked at the two sons, and we've determined that there's enough information in the story to think that the sons are old enough to work as slaves, but maybe not old enough to go out and work for a living. Because they might have done that. So maybe they're middle teens or something. And looking at what information we have in the story, we learn what we can about it.
When you're cooking, it's oral, right?
Yeah.
You write it down.
What?
When you're cooking, right?
Do you like the recipe?
You write it down.
So you have to remember
That's
everything.
what
You can spend as much time in preparation. He spent a whole bunch of time writing down a whole bunch of stuff and getting ready for his part.
Oh, in my preparation,
Yeah.
yeah.
Preparation. Before you got here today, you can use as much prep, just like a sermon. You spend hours. Don't think that you don't prepare.
No, I know there's preparation.
Yeah.
But do you write aloud?
Who writes it down?
The one who's cooking.
In your
Have
own,
we written down?
in your own personal preparation at home, use whatever tools you want. You want to draw pictures, whatever tools you want. But when you're in a group session preparing the story, the discipline is oral. That's why we ask you to put away your notebooks and your pens. In the group session, it's oral. Why?
Since I'm not oral. We've been doing this story and retelling and then looking for truths and then application. But now you're saying that what we're doing now, looking for the truths, actually what you do before the story. So now I'm a little bit confused.
It's an overlap.
Isn't this normally what you do with the group after you told the story and we told it and moved it through?
Yeah.
That's when you're doing this, but now it's the preparation.
Yeah, see,
I'm
here's where sometimes it gets confusing. We're working on preparation. We're in the kitchen now. But we had to learn the story first. That's why I told it to you twice. We had to learn the story first. Normally in preparation, Larry, what we start out with a fresh new story. Let's say a story from King David. What we do is we start out, we all learn it together. We learn the story about King David. And we all learn it together, and then we'd be preparing the story in the kitchen. We learn it together by reading it, and telling it, reading and telling it. Then we use the wise counselor tools to prepare and dig out the treasures. So that when we present the story, we can ask questions that help the others dig out.
I think this will help. We're doing a big tribe. Usually have about up to 12 little tribes. And in that little tribe, you got maybe 4 people and myself as the tribe leader. I spend an hour and a half making sure everybody in my group knows that story. And then we dig into it together. Then after we dig into it, we ask, who likes this story? And one of the 4 people will hold up their hand and say, I like it. Oh, would you be our storyteller?
That's the presenting, the dining room.
And then that person, after he gets prepared well, will get up and go to another group and tell the story, and all the groups will do the same thing.
Then he
So
goes
we
to
are
the other
giving-
group and uses the 5 steps. He goes to the other group and goes through the 5 steps. Tell, retell,
Including the discussion, but he already has gone through the discussion before.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
He has seen the process. He figured out what some observations and some good applications are.
All right.
Then he takes it from the kitchen and presents it.
I
And
think, yeah.
that's why we
we're
pulled
doing
out the
now. What
apron.
we're doing now is as if we're in a small group preparing. What we'd be doing now normally is one of you would become a storyteller. After we've dug all these treasures out with the wise counselor questions, one of you could be volunteer to be a storyteller. Go to another group and tell this story of widow and oil, right?
Using your kitchen analogy, usually we taste the food first.